So, Ren and Stimpy was very influential for modern cartoons for many reasons, and some of the things inspired by Ren and Stimpy are great. I, for example, really appreciate how the insanity of Ren and Stimpy led to shows being more comfortable using darker themes in episodes. But if there is anything that Ren and Stimpy passed on to the new generation of cartoons, it is gross imagery in episodes. And nowhere is this more prominent than in Spongebob.
Hey!
Well, there has been cartoons very inspired by the gross-out humor of Ren and Stimpy, like Sanjay and Craig, Mega Babies, and whatever this is. None of these shows reached the success of our favorite little yellow guy. Now, SpongeBob's first 3 seasons didn't have that much gross-out. Sure, there were stuff like the Nasty Patty in season 3, and that's pretty much it, to be honest. I'm sure you could pull a couple of screenshots, but as far as I know, pre-movie SpongeBob has basically never had a gross-up close-up. The few times the first season actually used, detailed close-ups, they were done in a way where they honestly look like meme paintings, instead of looking like something that, will make you throw up. Compare Squidward's face after he says,
"Does this look unsure to you?"
No.
to the face he makes in Sandy Snotty Nieces, and you will just see the difference. Now, as most of these tropes, something changed in season 4. I think a perfect way to illustrate this change is comparing the close-up of Barnacle Boy in the first Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode to the one in Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 6. There is just something different that makes this so gross. This close-up is in another category than the pre-movie close-ups, and this category is where most post-movie close-ups fall into. The gross-up. Now, these close-up shots were always detailed. That's what makes most of the old ones so funny, actually. But the detail itself was never this gross. We now have pores and fluids and stuff on the characters' faces, and this just ruins the whole thing. I would honestly just say that pre-movie SpongeBob has close-ups, and post-movie SpongeBob has gross-ups, because that's pretty much what this is. Season 5 stepped it up even more by having many of the grossest images of the whole show. The infamous scene from Whatever Happened to SpongeBob is of course here, which might just be the grossest face I've ever seen in a cartoon, to be honest. And we also have Fungus Among Us and To Love a Patty, which are just gross out episodes. But at this point and forward, many episodes will just throw in 1 or 2 gross ups just for good measure. Or something, I don't even know. We have perfectly fine episodes like House Fancy ruined by one quick scene that makes no sense being in the episode. It is shock value humor done wrong. Episodes like The Splinter and To Love a Patty really has nothing if you take the shock value of these gross-ups out of the episodes. At this point, gross-out was a big part of SpongeBob. Season 6 was one of the worst offenders of the gross-ups, with even the most loved episodes having disgusting faces that add nothing to the episode. And Season 6 also hosts one of the grossest episodes I have ever seen. That is not the Ren and Stimpy episode, of course. Pet or Pests. This episode has the most disgusting character designs in all of SpongeBob. These worms are so gross, and I actually have to look away when we see them close up. There is, by the way, not a single reason for them to look like this. We have seen worms before many times in the show, and they don't look like this. They don't look like this. And it's not like they have to be gross looking even for the plot to work. Squidward's clarinet playing sounds terrible to the other characters in the show and actually hurts them physically. But as viewers, we don't experience this. But the worms are actually grosser to us than they are to the characters in the show, which is the opposite effect that you should want. There is nothing of value in this episode, and the unnecessary gross out turns it from a boring episode to an unwatchable one. The following seasons had many gross-out episodes each. The Curse of the Hex has disgusting imagery. Barnacle faces gross. Face freeze exists, I guess. Yeah. Face freeze is definitely an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. And yeah, I don't care what people say. Gross-ups are still a problem in modern SpongeBob. They have gotten better though. There has been a couple of faces in season 13 that are funnier than they are gross, which is definitely a step in the right direction. But stuff like Squidward's face in Sandy Snotty Nieces, this image from Two Thumbs Down, the straight Ren and Stimpy ripoff from the whole Tooth, and a few more close-ups from from post-second movie, really is about as bad as mid-season SpongeBob. And if we were talking about close-ups, not just close-ups, but gross stuff in general, modern SpongeBob is worse than ever because there is so much disgusting stuff going on in the newer episodes. I won't even discuss Ink Lemonade, and there is so much weird fetish shit happening in modern SpongeBob. This trope has gotten a bit better, but SpongeBob is still a gross show. Next week we are probably doing the finale to this. Yeah, we are. We are doing the finale to this series, which will be a bit of a surprise. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.